The more you focus on yourself, the less distracted you'll be by the noise around you. When you focus on your own growth, everything else will fall into place. Your growth is your responsibility. Stop comparing your journey to others and focus on your own progress. When you focus on yourself, you become unstoppable. Do you ever feel like you're constantly comparing yourself to others or trying to keep up with what everyone else is doing? It's easy to get lost in what's happening around you. But here's the truth. Focusing on other people's lives can take you further away from your own goals. Imagine if you put all that energy into yourself instead, into your growth, your dreams, your journey. What would that look like? In today's world, distractions are everywhere, and it's easy to get caught up in the noise. But when you stop comparing yourself to others and start focusing on what truly matters to you, everything changes. You become clearer about your goals, you make stronger decisions, and you start living life on your own terms. In this video, we'll dive into why it's so powerful to focus on yourself and not others. We'll explore how it can improve your productivity, strengthen your relationships, and ultimately lead to a more fulfilling and successful life. Are you ready to unlock your true potential? Stay with me, and let's get into it. Number 1, stay focused on what you can improve. The truth about life is that it will constantly pull your attention in 100 directions. It's easy to get caught up in everything that's happening around you, what others are doing, what they have, what they've achieved. But none of that will bring you closer to where you want to be. The real growth begins when you choose to stay focused on what you can improve, not what someone else can fix, not what you think you're missing, but the things in your life that you have the power to make better. Let's get one thing clear. You can't control everything. The world is chaotic, unpredictable, and full of things that are beyond your reach. But here's the good news. There are things within your reach. There are areas in your life where your actions, your decisions, and your efforts can make a difference. That's where your focus needs to be. Take a moment to think about this. What is one thing in your life right now that you know could be better? Maybe it's your physical health. Maybe it's your mindset. Maybe it's a skill you've always wanted to master. Whatever it is, that's your starting point. Because improvement doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you decide to take control of the things you can change. Now, staying focused on what you can improve requires discipline. It means being intentional with your time and energy. It means choosing to invest in yourself instead of getting distracted by what's happening around you. And let's be honest, it's not always easy. There will be times when it feels like you're not making progress. Times when you're tempted to give up. But those are the moments that matter most. Those are the moments when you need to remind yourself why you started. Here's the thing about improvement. It's not about perfection. It's about progress. You don't have to change everything overnight. You don't have to fix all your problems at once. But what you do need to do is take small, consistent steps every single day. Because those small steps add up. They create momentum. They lead to transformation. And here's another truth. The process of improvement isn't always glamorous. It's not about big, dramatic changes. It's about the quiet, unseen work you do behind the scenes. It's about waking up early to train when no one's watching. It's about choosing to read a book instead of mindlessly scrolling through your phone. It's about doing the hard work that no one else will see but you. Let's talk about mindset for a second. When you focus on what you can improve, you're shifting your mindset from one of limitation to one of possibility. You're no longer dwelling on what you can't do or what you don't have. Instead, you're asking yourself, what can I do with what I have right now? This is a game changer because it puts the power back in your hands. And let's be real, life is full of distractions. Social media, other people's opinions, the constant comparison to others, it's all noise. When you focus on what you can improve, you're choosing to tune out that noise. You're saying, I don't have time to worry about what someone else is doing. I have my own work to do. And that's a powerful mindset to have. Now let's get practical. If you want to stay focused on what you can improve, you need a plan. Improvement doesn't happen by accident. It happens by design. Start by identifying one area of your life that you want to work on. Be specific. Don't just say, I want to get better. Say, I want to improve my fitness by running 3 times a week. Or, I want to become a better communicator by practicing public speaking. The more specific you are, the easier it will be to stay focused. Once you've identified your goal, break it down into smaller, manageable steps. Improvement can feel overwhelming if you try to tackle everything at once. But when you break it down, it becomes achievable. For example, if your goal is to get fit, start by committing to 10 minutes of exercise a day. If your goal is to learn a new skill, start by dedicating 15 minutes a day to practice. The key is consistency. And here's something important. Don't be afraid to fail. Failure is not the opposite of improvement. It's a part of it. When you fail, you learn. You grow. You figure out what doesn't work so you can focus on what does. So instead of fearing failure, embrace it. See it as a stepping stone on your journey to becoming better. Let me tell you something about effort. Effort is everything. It doesn't matter how talented you are or how much potential you have. What matters is what you do with it. When you put in the effort, when you show up every day and do the work, you're proving to yourself that you're serious about improving. And that effort, it adds up. It creates results. Now let's talk about patience. Improvement takes time. It's not a quick fix. It's not something that happens overnight. It's a journey, and like any journey, it requires patience. There will be days when it feels like you're not making progress. Days when you wonder if it's even worth it. But let me tell you this, it is worth it. Every step you take, no matter how small, is a step in the right direction. And here's the beauty of focusing on what you can improve. It's empowering. It's a reminder that you have control over your life. You may not be able to control the things happening around you, but you can control your actions. You can control your choices. You can control how you respond to challenges. And that's a powerful thing. So, let me ask you this. What's holding you back? What's stopping you from focusing on what you can improve? Is it fear? Is it doubt? Is it the belief that you're not good enough? Whatever it is, it's time to let it go. Because the truth is, you are good enough. You have what it takes to become better. All you have to do is start. And here's one last thing to remember. Improvement is not a destination. It's a journey. It's a lifelong process of becoming the best version of yourself. So don't rush it. Don't compare your journey to someone else's. Just focus on taking one step at a time and trust that those steps will lead you to where you're meant to be. When you stay focused on what you can improve, you start to see possibilities where there once were limitations. You start to realize that you're capable of more than you ever imagined. And that realization, that's where the magic happens. Number 2, the power of self-focus. In today's fast-paced world, distractions are everywhere. From social media notifications to work deadlines, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters to you. People are constantly pulled in multiple directions, leaving little room for personal growth, clarity, or even peace of mind. Yet there's a hidden power in being able to direct your attention solely to yourself and your goals. This power is self-focus, and it has the ability to change everything about how you approach life, how you achieve success, and how you find fulfillment. When you focus on yourself and your personal growth, you make a conscious decision to prioritize what's truly important, shedding the distractions and negative influences that could otherwise slow you down. Self-focus isn't about being selfish or ignoring the world around you. It's about directing your energy and attention to what's most important to you in ways that contribute positively to your personal development. It's a deliberate choice to invest in yourself, your mental, physical, and emotional well-being without getting lost in the noise of external expectations. When you focus on your goals, your desires, and your needs, you become more attuned to your inner self. This self-awareness empowers you to make decisions that serve your highest potential, free from the judgment or influence of others. In a world full of external pressures, it takes courage to center yourself and make your own path a priority. At the heart of self-focus is the concept of clarity. When you are fully focused on your own development, you gain a clearer understanding of who you are, what you want, and how to get there. Often, people drift through life, unsure of their true desires because they're constantly distracted by the demands of others. They might be caught up in someone else's expectations or constantly shifting their focus based on what's trendy or popular. However, when you take the time to focus on yourself, you begin to realize what's important and what isn't. This clarity gives you a roadmap for your life, ensuring you're not just living in reaction to circumstances, but actively creating the life you want. Self-focus also strengthens your decision-making skills. The more you direct your attention inward, the more you learn to trust your instincts and intuition. You begin to understand the choices that align with your values and goals. Instead of being swayed by the opinions of others, you develop confidence in your ability to make decisions that are right for you. This leads to a stronger sense of self and a more confident approach to life. You stop second-guessing yourself and start trusting your choices because you've tuned out the noise and honed in on your own priorities. Another powerful benefit of self-focus is its ability to drive productivity and efficiency. When you focus solely on your goals and break them down into manageable steps, you naturally become more productive. You stop wasting time on things that don't matter or get sidetracked by distractions. Instead, you create clear intentions and focus on achieving specific outcomes. Your energy is no longer scattered across a million tasks or obligations. It's focused on what will get you closer to your dreams. This efficiency leads to faster progress, more success, and a deeper sense of accomplishment. Self-focus also plays a crucial role in managing stress and overwhelm. In today's world, it's easy to get caught up in trying to do everything at once, which only leads to burnout. People often try to juggle multiple priorities, constantly reacting to external demands, and never taking a moment to check in with themselves. This can lead to mental fatigue, emotional exhaustion, and a lack of satisfaction in life. When you practice self-focus, you are able to eliminate the distractions that contribute to overwhelm. Instead of getting bogged down by tasks that don't align with your true goals, you prioritize what matters most. This helps you manage your energy more effectively and prevents burnout. The less you focus on everything and everyone else, the more you can handle the tasks that are in alignment with your goals. One of the most transformative aspects of self-focus is its ability to improve your relationships. When you focus on yourself and your needs, you cultivate self-love and self-respect, which are essential for healthy relationships. It's impossible to give to others if you're empty inside. By focusing on yourself, you fill your own cup. And when you do that, you have more to give. Healthy relationships are based on mutual respect, understanding, and support. And you can't offer those things if you don't take care of yourself first. Self-focus allows you to set boundaries, communicate your needs, and ensure that you're investing your energy in relationships that are truly meaningful and supportive. In turn, these relationships become more fulfilling and balanced because they are based on the foundation of mutual self-awareness and care. Self-focus also fosters a greater sense of resilience. Life isn't always easy. There will be obstacles, setbacks, and challenges. However, when you focus on yourself and your personal growth, you develop the emotional strength to navigate those challenges. You learn how to bounce back from failures, adapt to changing circumstances, and keep moving forward no matter what. Self-focus helps you understand that difficulties are a natural part of life and that they don't define you. Instead, it's how you respond to those difficulties that matters most. By consistently focusing on your growth, you build a resilience that allows you to face anything that comes your way with confidence and strength. Another key aspect of self-focus is the ability to cultivate gratitude. When you focus on yourself and your journey, you develop a deeper appreciation for the progress you've made and the blessings in your life. You stop focusing on what you lack or what others have, and instead, you become grateful for the things that are already present in your life. This gratitude shifts your mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance, making it easier to attract more positivity and opportunity. Gratitude also strengthens your mental health by promoting a positive outlook on life, reducing anxiety, and increasing feelings of joy and contentment. The power of self-focus lies in its ability to keep you grounded in the present moment. In a world where people are constantly distracted by the past or future, self-focus keeps you anchored in the now. It reminds you that the only moment that truly matters is the one you are living right now. Focusing on the present allows you to let go of regrets about the past and worries about the future. It encourages you to fully engage in your experiences and to appreciate the journey rather than being fixated on the destination. This mindfulness enhances your overall sense of well-being, reduces stress, and improves your quality of life. Self-focus also helps you develop a deeper sense of self-awareness. By turning your attention inward, you begin to understand your strengths, weaknesses, desires, and fears. This self-awareness is the key to personal growth, as it allows you to identify areas where you need improvement and areas where you are already thriving. The more self-aware you are, the easier it becomes to make conscious choices that align with your goals. This awareness also helps you recognize when you're out of alignment with your true self, giving you the opportunity to course correct before you veer too far off track. Number 3, the freedom of focusing on yourself. Focusing on yourself is not selfish, it's survival. In a world that constantly demands your attention and forces you to prioritize everyone else's needs, focusing on yourself is the ultimate act of freedom. It's about choosing to invest in your well-being, your growth, and your happiness over the distractions that surround you. When you shift your energy inward, you reclaim your power, rediscover your purpose, and unlock a life of true freedom. Let's be clear about something. The moment you start focusing on yourself, people will misunderstand you. They'll call you selfish, arrogant, or detached. But their opinions don't matter. What matters is your peace of mind. What matters is your ability to wake up each day and feel good about who you are and where you're heading. That's not selfish, that's necessary. You can't pour from an empty cup. If you're constantly prioritizing others at the expense of yourself, you'll eventually break. And when you break, you won't be able to help anyone, not even yourself. Focusing on yourself doesn't mean ignoring the people around you. It means knowing when to say no, knowing when to draw boundaries, and knowing when to walk away from situations that no longer serve you. It's about recognizing that your time, energy, and attention are limited resources. You can't waste them on things that drain you or take you away from your goals. When you focus on yourself, you're choosing to prioritize what truly matters. Here's the truth. Life is short, and you don't get a second chance to live it. Every day you spend worrying about what others think, chasing their approval, or comparing yourself to them is a day wasted. The freedom of focusing on yourself lies in letting go of that need for validation. It's about realizing that you don't need anyone's permission to live your life the way you want to. You don't need their approval to chase your dreams or their acceptance to feel worthy. Your worth is not determined by their opinions. It's determined by how you see yourself. When you focus on yourself, you begin to understand what truly makes you happy. You start exploring your passions, discovering your strengths, and embracing your flaws. You stop hiding who you are to fit into someone else's idea of perfection. Instead, you start becoming the person you were always meant to be. And let me tell you something, that person is enough. You don't need to prove your worth to anyone. You don't need to be better, smarter, or more successful to deserve happiness. You just need to be yourself. Focusing on yourself also means taking responsibility for your life. It's about acknowledging that you are the one in control of your future. You can't blame others for your problems or wait for them to solve them. You have to take ownership of your choices, your actions, and your outcomes. This is where true freedom begins. Because when you stop relying on others to fix your life, you realize that you have everything you need to create the life you want. Let's talk about boundaries for a moment. When you focus on yourself, boundaries become non-negotiable. You learn to protect your time and energy because you understand their value. You stop saying yes to things out of obligation and start saying no to protect your peace. And here's the thing about boundaries. They don't just benefit you. They benefit everyone around you. When you're happier, healthier, and more fulfilled, you're better equipped to show up for others. So don't let anyone guilt you into thinking that boundaries are selfish. They're necessary for your well-being. Another thing happens when you focus on yourself. You stop comparing. Comparison is a thief that robs you of joy, confidence, and clarity. When you're constantly looking at what others have or what they've achieved, you lose sight of your own journey. But when you focus on yourself, you stay in your lane. You stop caring about who's ahead or behind because you're too busy working on your own goals. And that's where the magic happens. That's where you start to grow, evolve, and thrive. Focusing on yourself also gives you the freedom to make mistakes. You're no longer living under the pressure of perfection or the fear of judgment. You understand that mistakes are a part of growth. They're not failures, they're lessons. And when you embrace those lessons, you become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. So don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to fall. Because every time you do, you're one step closer to becoming the person you want to be. Let's address one of the biggest misconceptions about focusing on yourself. The idea that it's lonely. People think that when you prioritize yourself, you're isolating yourself from others. But the truth is, focusing on yourself creates deeper, more meaningful connections. When you know who you are and what you want, you attract people who align with your values, respect your boundaries, and support your growth. You stop wasting time on shallow relationships and start building real ones. And here's another truth. The freedom of focusing on yourself extends to your mental health. When you make yourself a priority, you learn to manage your stress, cope with your emotions, and take care of your mind. You stop neglecting your needs and start practicing self-care. This doesn't mean indulging in temporary pleasures. It means doing the hard, necessary work to heal, grow, and thrive. It means seeking help when you need it, letting go of what hurts you, and creating a life that supports your well-being. Focusing on yourself is not a destination, it's a journey. It's a daily commitment to show up for yourself, even when it's hard, even when it's uncomfortable. It's about making choices that align with your values, your goals, and your vision for the future. It's about taking small, consistent steps every day to become the person you want to be. And let me tell you this, every step you take is worth it. Every moment you invest in yourself brings you closer to the freedom you deserve. But here's the catch. Focusing on yourself requires courage. It requires the courage to say no to distractions, to let go of toxic relationships, and to face the parts of yourself that you've been avoiding. It's not easy, but it's necessary. Because the alternative is a life of regret, a life where you never truly lived for yourself. And that's no life at all. So, what does freedom feel like? It feels like waking up in the morning and knowing that your choices are your own. It feels like looking in the mirror and being proud of the person you see. It feels like living a life that's true to who you are, not who others want you to be. That's the kind of freedom that comes from focusing on yourself. And once you experience it, you'll never want to go back. Remember this, you are your greatest investment. The time, energy, and love you give to yourself will always pay off. So don't let anyone make you feel guilty for choosing yourself. Don't let them convince you that their needs are more important than yours. Because at the end of the day, the only person who's responsible for your happiness is you. And that's the greatest freedom of all. The freedom of focusing on yourself is about living life on your own terms. It's about breaking free from the expectations of others and creating a life that feels right for you. It's about embracing your individuality, your uniqueness, and your potential. So don't wait for permission. Don't wait for the right time. Start now. Start today. Because the freedom you're looking for is already within you. You just have to claim it. Number 4, be consistent in your efforts. Consistency is the bridge between goals and achievements. No matter how big or small your dreams are, the only way to turn them into reality is by showing up every single day. It doesn't matter how talented you are, how lucky you get, or how many resources you have. None of that will work if you lack consistency. Being consistent in your efforts is what separates those who succeed from those who give up too soon. It's not about intensity. It's about persistence. Success doesn't come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you do repeatedly. Think about it. Consistency is what builds momentum. Imagine pushing a car uphill. The first few steps feel impossible. But as you keep pushing step by step, the car starts to move. The more you push, the easier it gets. That's momentum. Consistency creates that same effect in every area of life. The small, steady actions you take every day might seem insignificant at first, but over time, they compound into massive results. It's the power of accumulation. The key is to stay consistent, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Especially then. Here's the truth. Consistency is boring. There's no glamour in waking up early every day to train, practice, or work. There's no excitement in sticking to a routine when others are out having fun. But this is where most people fail. They chase excitement and avoid discipline. They want instant results without putting in the long-term effort. Consistency, however, requires patience. It's about committing to the process, even when you're tired, discouraged, or not seeing immediate progress. It's about understanding that real growth happens behind the scenes, long before anyone notices. Being consistent in your efforts also means embracing imperfection. You're not always going to get it right. Some days will be harder than others. You'll make mistakes, face setbacks, and feel like giving up. But that's part of the journey. Consistency isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up anyway. It's about picking yourself up after every fall and continuing the journey no matter how hard it gets. The people who achieve their goals aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who never quit. Consistency requires a clear vision. You can't stay consistent if you don't know what you're working towards. It's like trying to hit a target in the dark. You need to know your goals, understand why they matter to you, and break them down into actionable steps. Once you have that clarity, consistency becomes easier. Every small action you take will feel like a step closer to your dreams. And with each step, your confidence grows. You start to believe in yourself and your ability to achieve anything you set your mind to. Let's talk about habits. Consistency is built on the foundation of good habits. If you want to stay consistent, you need to create routines that support your goals. Habits take the guesswork out of the equation. They turn deliberate effort into automatic behavior. But here's the catch. Building habits takes time. It's not about doing something perfectly for a week and expecting it to stick. It's about doing it every day for months until it becomes a part of who you are. The more consistent you are with your habits, the stronger they become. One of the biggest challenges to consistency is doubt. When things don't go as planned, when progress feels slow, or when the results don't match your expectations, doubt creeps in. You start questioning whether it's worth it, whether you're capable, or whether you should just give up. But here's the thing, doubt is a test. It's testing your commitment, your resilience, and your willingness to keep going. The only way to overcome doubt is to stay consistent. Keep taking action, no matter how small. Every step forward silences the voice of doubt. Consistency isn't just about effort. It's about attitude. It's about showing up with the right mindset, even when you don't feel like it. It's about staying positive, focused, and determined, no matter what challenges come your way. Your mindset shapes your actions, and your actions shape your results. If you approach every task with half-hearted effort, you'll get half-hearted results. But if you approach every task with a mindset of giving your best will keep improving. Consistency turns effort into excellence. Let's not ignore the role of discipline. Consistency and discipline go hand in hand. Discipline is what keeps you going when motivation runs out. It's easy to be consistent when you're motivated, excited, and full of energy. But what happens on the days when you don't feel like it? What happens when life gets tough, distractions pile up, and your goals start to feel impossible? That's where discipline comes in. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't want to. It's saying no to excuses and yes to progress. Being consistent in your efforts also means learning to pace yourself. It's not about doing everything at once or burning yourself out in the process. It's about finding a sustainable rhythm that you can maintain over the long term. Think of it like running a marathon. If you start sprinting, you'll exhaust yourself before you reach the finish line. But if you maintain a steady pace, you'll not only finish, but finish strong. Consistency is a marathon, not a sprint. It's about taking small, deliberate steps every day, rather than big, unsustainable leaps. Another critical aspect of consistency is adaptability. Life is unpredictable and things won't always go as planned. But consistency doesn't mean rigidly sticking to a plan that no longer works. It means staying committed to your goals while being flexible in your approach. When obstacles arise, find a way around them. When setbacks happen, adjust your strategy. Consistency is about staying the course, not staying stuck. It's about being persistent, not stubborn. The most consistent people are also the most adaptable. Consistency also builds trust, not just with others, but with yourself. When you consistently show up for your goals, you prove to yourself that you're capable, reliable, and strong. You start believing in your ability to overcome challenges and achieve great things. This self-trust is powerful. It pushes you to take bigger risks, set higher goals, and strive for more. Consistency turns self-doubt into self-confidence. It's a daily reminder that you're capable of greatness as long as you keep showing up. Let's talk about time. Consistency teaches you to value time because you realize how much of it is wasted on distractions, procrastination, and excuses. When you're consistent, you learn to prioritize. You stop spending your energy on things that don't matter and start focusing on what does. Every minute becomes an opportunity to move closer to your goals. And when you consistently make the most of your time, you achieve more in months than most people do in years. Consistency is the secret to unlocking the full potential of your time. Here's a harsh truth. Success is not guaranteed. Even if you're consistent, there's no guarantee that things will work out the way you want them to. But here's the flip side. Inconsistency guarantees failure. If you give up, slack off, or stop trying, you'll never achieve your goals. Consistency might not guarantee success, but it guarantees growth. It guarantees progress. And it guarantees that you'll become a better, stronger version of yourself. So why not give it your all? Why not stay consistent and see how far you can go? Consistency also shapes your identity. The more consistent you are in your efforts, the more you start to see yourself as someone who is dedicated, disciplined, and determined. This self-image becomes a driving force. It pushes you to keep going, even when things get tough. It reminds you that you're not just working towards a goal, you're becoming the kind of person who achieves their goals. Consistency is not just about what you do. It's about who you become in the process. At its core, being consistent in your efforts is about respect. It's about respecting your goals, your potential, and your future. Every action you take, no matter how small, is a step towards honoring that respect. When you're consistent,